We all have a story to tell. But what makes each one different is not how the story ends, but rather the place where it begins. Holy God.
Mama says if we went across the water, they wouldn't understand the way we talk.
If they can't understand you, then they're not listening. You know who you are, don't you? Your buddy from Belfast, where everybody knows you.
Hey, buddy! Your mom's calling you! Yes!
We're looking to cleanse the community a wee bit.
You wouldn't want to be the odd man out in the street. Touch my family and I'll kill you.
Are we gonna have to leave Belfast?
We'll fight this together.
This is it? This is what?
This is war.
Open up your eyes, then you realize everlasting love.
We're living in a civil war.
What do you want?
I want my family with me. I want you.
Well, I've really flown.
Kids the same age as ours are getting killed. We can give these boys a better chance than we ever had.
On the very spot, open up your heart, feel
I know nothing else but Belfast.
Go now. Don't look back.
Hey everyone, I'm back with another mega review, this time mega early review. Thanks to Regal Unlimited, I was able to I'm giving this review late to you guys. I've just been busy these past 2 days, but I got to see this movie 4 days early on November 8th. As you saw, it opens on November 12th. So I think that's kind of, that was a really, really cool opportunity for them to be able to give me a screening 4 days early. And I'm still reviewing it early before you guys go out and see it tomorrow or Friday. But what I can tell you before I get into the review, y'all should definitely go see it. I wish that StreamYard would let you change filters because I really want to do this review in black and white. But oh well, because the whole movie is shot in black and white. And I'll get into that. Well, most of the movie is shot in black and white. And I'll get into that whenever I get into my review. But yeah, it was really cool. I got to go to this event, and this is the first early screening I ever attended where there was actual security outside the doors. And apparently there would be security inside while you were watching the movie. And so if you had all pulled out your phones for whatever reason, they would escort you into the mall and kick you out of the theater. And so it was very strict. Honestly, I kind of respected that, and I wish every movie had security like that because I hate it when people are on their phones in the movies. So that was great. And this movie itself is really great too. Now, I played the trailer for this movie because I'm going to start. What I want to do with the channel is I want to start doing a lot more reviews for these type of films. And what I mean by these type of films is I'll still do your big films. I'll still do your Marvel films. I'll still do all this stuff like that. But I really want to start doing reviews for movies that are smaller, like independent movies that are from independent companies, those awards contenders, stuff like that. I want to start doing smaller things on those levels because I really want to get those movies more in the limelight. I want people to discover them because the thing is with a big Marvel movie or Star Wars movie or whatever it may be, you're going to go see it regardless. You're going to go see it. But with a smaller movie like this, if you're like, wow, I never even heard of that movie. Let me check out this review and see if I should see it. That's why I'm going to start doing a lot more of these smaller films to review. I really think that would just really make an impact on the channel. So I really want to start doing that. And that's why I'm actually playing trailers. I did a little test here. I played a trailer before this review because this movie, well, most of my subscriber people probably haven't heard of this movie. And so playing that trailer beforehand makes people watch the trailer and they're like, ooh, okay, this looks interesting. I might actually tune into this. And then they go into the review and they hear what I have to say. And if I like it, then they'll be like, okay, now I'm definitely watching it. So this is awesome. And so it's like a win-win situation. Now, I'm testing this out. If I get in trouble with copyright, whatever. Um, I couldn't care less, but I will test it out and see how that does. And if y'all don't like that new format, and if y'all don't like me reviewing these smaller films, just let me know. And I may or may not stop. But it's just, yeah, I want to give these directors, sometimes big directors who do smaller films, or sometimes very small name directors, I really want to give them the credit they deserve that they don't really ever get on YouTube. So before I get into the review, we've got some comments here from everyone. Um, so we've got Red Rusty here who says, hey, Wolf, what's up? I spotlight a lot of indie underrated too. I've never heard of this one. Awesome. Well, yeah, this one I got to see it 4 days early, so y'all won't get to see it until November 12th, which is just in a couple days. So literally, it's it's awesome. Um, but yeah, it's pretty awesome that that it's coming out. I think it's coming out worldwide. So if you guys check your local theaters, you should be able to get it. Flats House of Horror says, "Hey Michael, hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you, man." Miss Carter's here in the house. Says, "Hey everyone, hello, Miss Carter." My bad, I wasn't making a mistake there. And then Rusty says, "Yes, if someone doesn't tell me about a little advertised film, I never know about it." Exactly. And I got this idea from running through from watching other channels, but also running through some of my older videos and seeing how I remember doing a review for that movie The Monster, which was a older movie from 2016. Like no one's ever seen it. It was an A24 indie film. No one's ever seen it. I did a review a long time ago on my channel. Didn't get that many views. I mean, granted, pretty much almost none of my videos got that many views around there. But I thought to myself, I was like, maybe I should start doing bigger films and I'll get more views. And then I realized I really think it doesn't matter about the views. I just think even if it's a small number, I think if people have to hear what I have to say about certain indie film, they will go out and seek it. Because if someone who you trust, review wise, likes the film, and then you're like, okay, I'll take their word for it, and you go see it, that's a big deal. So that's why I'm going to start doing these. And I've got several of these indie type of or contender type of films this month I will be doing because this is a jam-packed month for all of that. So yeah, Belfast. So Belfast is from director Kenneth Branagh, and if you do not know who Kenneth Branagh is, he is actually a famous Shakespearean actor. So yeah, I love him as an actor. His hit or miss as a director. Artemis Fowl. Artemis Fowl. But he also did the first Thor movie, and he also did, Murder on the Orient Express, and he's done a few other films before in his directing career, and he's got decent ones, but he's also got some stinkers. And so going into this, everyone was saying, "Oh, this is the front runner for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. This is the front runner for Best Picture at the Academy Awards." So I went that hype. I was afraid that hype would ruin it for me. I was like, is this going to be too overhyped for me? I don't know. I'm kind of scared, but let's go see this. It's Kenneth Branagh. He's hit or miss. And I saw it had good reviews, but I was still going in just with that in mind. I sit down, I go see the film. This is this is fucking delightful. Sorry for the language, but this is so delightful. I was grinning ear to ear. I would tear up at times. It was so great. Now, what Belfast is about is it takes place in the late 60s, 1969 to be exact. And Kenneth Branagh makes a sort of true fiction story, I guess you could say, because it's a fiction story, um, but it is actually based on reality because this is based on Kenneth Branagh's life growing up in Belfast in 1969. So, um, so the kid kind of represents him, and Jamie Dornan kind of represents his dad, um, and all the other casts represent their different parts of his real life. So, Belfast, there starts to be kind of a war and a rivalry going on in 1969 between um, Protestants and Catholics. And at one point, you find out that it looks like this family has to leave Belfast to start a new life and get their family to safety if they, um, and so their family can survive financially, and their family can survive this whole like political slash religious divide that's happening. Um, and it's very powerful. It really just it kicks you in right from the start. When as soon as the movie opens, without giving any spoilers, it just boom, you're locked in. You're like, oh shoot, okay, we're getting shit started here. It just goes for broke right from the opening scene. And yes, this has some slow burn aesthetics. There is times where it may, and that'll be one of my flaws, not the slow burn itself, but there's a flaw I will mention there. Once I get into the flaws, but it has a slow burn aesthetic. But for a film with a slow burn, it actually grips you from the start, like the opening scene. And then as soon as the opening scene started, I was glued to the screen the whole way through. The cinematography here is really, really great. It's shot pretty much almost entirely in black and white. There's like an opening frame of the movie that's in color and like an ending frame of the movie that's in color. Everything else is in black and white. And so the cinematography looks beautiful. You've just got uh, so many. I mean, I almost said rich colors, but there's no colors. I'm a sucker for black and white film, pretty much. I have grayscale mode on my TV, and if I'm watching certain movies, sometimes I will literally just pop on the grayscale mode just to watch a film in black and white. I'm a sucker for that. So if you get a film that's in black and white, modern day, classic, whatever it may be, and you show it to me, I'm gonna eat that up. Even if it doesn't even utilize black and white in the best way, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, it's black and white." Like, I don't know, there's something about that that I really love. So, so that was really cool to see. Uh, and we're actually getting a lot of black and white movies this year, which is interesting. But, so they do really great stuff with the camera work too here, talking about cinematography, where some, uh they do some zoom-ins, and then they've got, like, certain, like, uh pan out shots and stuff, and the different kind of camera usage they use here is really, really, really well done. So it'll probably get some cinematography nomination at the Academy Awards. Uh, they're all the performances here, all of them are great. Um, Jamie Dornan, yes, 50 Shades of Grey, Jamie Dornan. He's actually really solid. He does a great job in this movie. I was thoroughly impressed. Um, you've got Judy Dench. She doesn't have a lot to do here, honestly. Um, but she's the only one I feel doesn't really have a moment. You know, she doesn't really shine as much as the others, but she's Judi Dench. She's always great, and she's made up for Cats big time. Let's just say that. And then there's Katrina Balfe. I hope I spelled that right. It's spelled really weird. As the mother, and she's fantastic. Probably a nomination for her. She's great. Um, and then Ciarán Hinds, one of my favorite actors. He's always great. Game of Thrones, so many other things. He's awesome. Uh, and then and honestly, he says one of my favorite lines of the year. If you guys watch trailer two, there's two trailers. I showed you guys the first trailer, but one of my favorite lines of the entire year so far is from him as the grandpa, and it's in trailer two. And if y'all watch that, y'all will know what I'm talking about. Um, then you've got the boy, the main character, uh, named Buddy, played by Jude Hill, and Jude Hill does a fantastic job here. He's so adorable too. Oh my god, I want to adopt him. But Jude Hill, this is his debut performance. This is his first film as a kid here, and I was thoroughly impressed. He carries the movie on his shoulders. It is an ensemble film, so they all carry the film, but he really does help um to kind of bring it to bigger heights and to level the film up more and lighten it up with all of his cute humor. There's this really cute romance between him and this one girl and everything, and it makes for a really funny scene at the end that's just so charming and delightful. And that's another thing too, is that's like the charm of this movie, how heartfelt it is. You will cry, you will laugh. This is going to be the crowd pleaser of the year. What I mean by the crowd pleaser of the year is it's not the best movie of the year. Um, it would maybe be in my top 25, top 20 of the year so far. It's not the best movie of the year, but it is definitely the crowd pleaser of the year. And what that means is because this is really a film that everyone's going to enjoy. I think really everyone will get something out of this. And it's that type of film. It makes you laugh, it makes you smile, it makes you cry, it makes you angry at times, it gives you every single emotion. And it's, you know, sometimes predictable, sometimes cliche. It has all the things that the general audience loves. It has some elements in there too for people like me, but it's overall the general audience is going to eat this up with its heart and with its message and with the beauty of it. Um, so it's not really. Don't worry. Even if you got vibes from it in the trailer, don't worry. This is not in. Even if it's in black and white, this is not artsy fartsy as you guys were thinking. It's actually a lot more, I guess, of a um, of a straightforward film. It's with some artsy elements in there, but it's not really artsy at all. I mean, it's just a little bit of stuff here, but it's like I said, it's going to be the crowd pleaser of the year, and that's what will lead it to probably winning Best Picture, because the audience is going to eat this up, like I did. Um, and the audience I was with loved it; they absolutely ate it up. So that's another big positive is the heart and the charm to this movie and how it really fills you with all the emotions. I do want to say too that the soundtrack here slaps. I don't know, I don't know all the songs in here, but I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack here was excellent. The usage of music here was great. Um, there was, and I think the last and most important thing that I really loved about it is that they did so good on making you invested in the characters. So when you were watching this movie, you felt like you could have been there with them for just the whole, like, you were there with them and you felt like you could just stay there for such a long time. This movie's only an hour and 38 minutes. I was kind of bummed that it was only an hour and 38 minutes because I wanted to spend time with this family for just like 3 hours. I wanted to be in my chair for 3 hours, spending time with this family. That's how much Kenneth Branagh made me care about these people. Is I wanted to see, is I wanted to spend time with them all for like that long because I absolutely loved them. Uh, so yeah, excellent chemistry of the characters all across the board, um, and excellent filmmaking here. All that great stuff. Now into my flaws. So the things I didn't like about it. So there is a few pacing issues. I mentioned earlier about the slow burn aesthetic. The issue I had with it wasn't it being a slow burn. The issue I had with it was that um, you would get to um, a slow burn scene, and then right after that, it would just kind of jump into um, just like, you know, boom, 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 boom type of uh, like more fast paced stuff, and then it would go back to slow burn sometimes. Then it would go back to fast paced, and I was like, I was just sort of like, okay, keep a little bit of the same tone here. Don't just keep going back and forth. That's, you don't really need to do that. That's just keep it more consistent in tone. Don't jump all over the place. So that's really the only, I guess, major gripe I have. And that kind of leads into this flaw. And without giving any spoilers away, I'm going to try my best not to spoil it. But there is a scene um, where there's a funeral for a certain character. I'm not going to say who or anything like that, but it's a very somber moment, and then right after that gets into a dance number and singing number, and they're all singing this great oldies song, um, and dancing. Y'all have seen in the trailer. If y'all saw the trailer, y'all have seen the scenes where he's singing and he's dancing. It's that scene. Um they're pretty much having a party, and I'm like, y'all just had a somber moment at a funeral, and now you're jumping into this in the very next scene. This does not feel right to me. Now maybe um they do things differently in their culture. I don't know. But for me personally, that's not how you do a funeral. So there was just a few elements like that that kind of, it didn't take me out of the film because even with its flaws, this is the type of film it is. Every scene that was flawed still left a giant smile on my face. And I was sitting there charmed by it. That dance number that I just told you guys I had a flaw with, and that singing number, grinned the whole way through. And I was jiving along with the song like that the whole way through. I was into it. And that's a flaw I have. Like, it's literally, it's that good, guys, that I, even when it's flawed, I'm still getting, so, still enjoying it. And I'm still, so its flaws are forgivable. The predictability, the clichéness of it all is still very um is still forgivable because of some of the other scenes it creates that are just utterly delightful. And and I will say this too, the way the film ends, I love kind of more abrupt endings. I don't think this is too abrupt. I've heard people complain about the abruptness of it. I've seen way more abrupt endings than this though. But it does kind of end, I guess, semi abrupt, sort of. And but it ends though with a beautiful message. I'm not going to say what the message is, but there's a message at the end that is really beautiful. And I really think that that kind of helps with the somewhat abrupt nature of the ending. Um, just letting you all know that that was a major flaw for me, but it's just something that stood out. So yeah, guys, Kenneth Branagh's Belfast. Highly, highly recommend it. Now, before I close out this review, let me take some of your comments, guys. This Spencer or Mass? Are you telling me that you're Are you asking me what's my favorite? Well, if you're asking me what my favorite is, Spencer is my number one favorite movie of the year, and I will do a review for Spencer probably next. Actually, whenever I get a chance to do a review for Spencer, I will do that because that's another film that you guys have not seen that has been on my brain for so long now, and I really need to talk about it. So I will probably do a review for that. And then Mass, of course, is excellent. Mass is in my top 5 movies of the year, so I really do like it quite a bit. And so, yeah, and this one is in my top 20 or so movies of the year. I just was utterly joyed by it. Um, and then Red Rusty says, "Sounds like a fascinating film." Oh, it is, man. It is. It is absolutely fascinating. I think you would really dig this. And for all of you horror people, I know it's not really horror, but it's good to get away from that genre every now and then. And this is something that I feel a lot of people should really seek out when they get the chance to, whether it hits streaming, whether it comes to your theater, wherever it may be. I highly recommend you all stick it out. And then Ross says, "I'm seeing it on Saturday." Nice, nice, good job. Yeah, comes out this Friday, guys. So, um, so yeah, hope you all enjoyed this review, guys. Make sure you guys go and check out Belfast, opening in theaters on November 12th. Uh, again, I want to say thank you to Regal for giving me a 4-day early access to this movie. It was a lot of fun to see this early, guys, and I hope I can give you guys some more of these early reviews in the future. But especially just giving you guys some more of these like indie film type of reviews. And let me know what you all think of doing reviews for these smaller films like this, and for doing like putting. Let me know what you think about putting the trailer before the review. If you guys like that idea or not. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Really, really hope you have a wonderful day, and make sure you seek this out and so many other indie films because they're great. Um, but yeah, until next time, everyone, stay classy, my friends.